Austin here from Double the Tech, and in this video I'm going to look at the TP-Link Nano 150N router, or the model TL-WR702N. They don't give them very good names. Anyway, let's dig in. Inside the box you get a bunch of baggies and twist ties, CD which just has a PDF manual on it, instructions in 10 different languages. There's a USB adapter, a mini USB cord, and a short little cute Ethernet cord. All these were white. Anyway, I left the Ethernet cord at my friend's house, and the power adapter is actually downstairs, all twisty tied into my entertainment center where this currently resides to fix some of my Wi-Fi issues in my house. The router itself is actually relatively tiny. It has a reset button, USB for power only. You can't program it through this USB port with software or anything like that. Ethernet port, which can be for WAN or LAN, depending on the mode that it's currently in. That's what I like about this little thing, is it can do just about anything that you need to do with wireless. This router does have one LED light on it that blinks, gets dimmer, turns brighter, depending on what it's currently doing. I need to reset it to get my settings off here to show you how dead simple this thing is to set up. And 10 seconds long enough. Good. Here it is nonetheless with its default settings. There is a sticker on the bottom with the uber tiny font that says the default IP, login name, admin password, default SSID, and default password. You can plug it in and go. This comes in its default wireless access point mode, which means any LAN port you find, say in a hotel or dorm or anywhere else that might not have Wi-Fi that you need, you can plug it in. I bought this mostly to use it as a wireless repeater. It's only $17 to $21 on Amazon right now, and it's one of the cheapest repeaters that actually got a really good review. It's fluctuating between $17 and $21. So here we are at my laptop and the wireless adapter. I'm going to show you how to set it up as a wireless repeater. That's what I'm using it for, although there are 5 other modes. Step 1 that you want to do on any laptop is find your lovely little airplane mode or disable Wi-Fi button and go ahead and give that a press. Your Wi-Fi will turn off because you do not want to be using Wi-Fi while you're trying to set this thing up. Once you have your Wi-Fi turned off, go ahead and set your IP on your LAN adapter as a static IP. To do that, we go into Windows 8 into the network adapters area. Right click on your Ethernet connector, go to properties, scroll down to TCP version 4, properties again. Select use the following IP address, and we want 192.168.0.0.0.100. That's good enough, and the default subnet mask is good enough. Go ahead and click OK, click close, close that again, plug it in, lights on, Ethernet in on that end, Ethernet in the laptop. Go ahead and fire up your browser of choice. I'm going to say the page cannot be displayed. We already know that. And now we go to 192.168.0.254. Yes. And we want our username and password. Default username and password is admin. So here we are. Boom, we're in. I'm going to say quick setup. Next. Repeater. Next. SSID, MAC address. What if I don't know the MAC address of my router? There's a survey button. Click that, you select your Wi-Fi, you say connect. Now, you have to manually enter your security settings. Hopefully you know that you use WPA or WEP or so forth and so on. Now I'm going to type my password. Once you've typed in your lovely password, you can go ahead and click next. And then it's going to say, hey, do you want to reboot? You say, okay. Now it says that it has rebooted, but I've found that this router typically works a whole heck of a lot better if you actually unplug the cord at this point and plug it back in. At this point, this LAN port on this router operates just as that, a LAN port, even though it is also a wireless repeater at the same time. For a few weeks, I had a second router somewhere stuffed down here, and I had 2 wireless SSIDs and relays and a bunch of mess. After I had ordered one of these for one of my friends and messed around with it, I figured that this is a whole lot better than what I had. Plugged it in here with the USB cord, and also I have it plugged into Ethernet just because it is providing a network to my old school Slingbox, which does not have Wi-Fi built into it. This Wi-Fi router down here is mostly for my Chromecast, which is that little tiny white light hidden behind a metal TV far away from the router that is upstairs. And there's my Chromecast, and you actually saw it in the process of swapping from the Wi-Fi, which is up there somewhere, to the Wi-Fi that is actually right here. And to prove that that is working, I will show you in the lovely Wi-Fi Analyzer app on my phone. My network, in fact, has 2 MAC addresses. Netgear is my default router, and this is a TP-Link here. And I can see that my phone is actually still connected to my router. My phone will eventually switch over if the signal gets weak enough to the TP-Link. So as long as my phone's on my standard Wi-Fi, I'm going to go ahead and run a speed test here. Now the signal's plenty fine on a regular phone. This is mostly for the Chromecast, which has awful Wi-Fi issues being behind the TV. I'm going to go ahead and start the test. And I have the Comcast 5010 line. Typically, my Nexus 4 maxes out at about 30 megabits per second down. That's just the limit of the Wi-Fi in this phone. Just forcing my phone to switch Wi-Fis here. It would eventually swap over on its own to the stronger signal downstairs, but typically if I swap into airplane mode and back, it will connect to the TP-Link just because it is closer. It is connected to TP-Link. Now that I'm on the TP-Link, let's go ahead and run a speed test again. Suddenly, my 30 megabits has turned into 20-ish. As you can tell, it is slower nonetheless, and that's because with a wireless repeater, it's operating on the same channel as the wireless upstairs, so you're cutting your effective Wi-Fi speed in half. Ever since I've switched out to this new Wi-Fi, my Chromecast has been working perfectly.